DinoPod.
Welcome to another episode of DinoPod.
Yay!
With my esteemed guest,
What?
Rita.
I'm not a guest.
You are my guest.
No. I'm the host. I'm the host.
No, I'm the host.
I'm the host.
I'm the host of the most. Because I clicked the record button, so I'm more important.
Wow. No. I'm
Granted, you do all the research.
I do everything. Except press the record button.
I do the editing and the uploading.
Do you though?
I do.
Do you?
What does Tim do?
He exists.
So
Maybe.
I'm the most important.
I haven't seen him in 3 months, so maybe he's not real at all.
No, he's not. He was born for the last. He was born for the last decade. Now, the new decade, new Tim.
Sure.
And when I say new Tim, as in unemployed Tim. Lovely. Right, so...
Do you think Tim is listening to this?
No.
Hi, Tim. No.
Hi, Rita's mum.
My mom does listen to this. She's our only listener.
She's our only fan.
Yeah.
But, this week we were supposed to watch Rocky and Rocky Balboa, but I kind of fell asleep.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I mean... Rocky, bearing in mind I watched them back to back, Rocky 5 was boring and dull as shit, so
That's
I was
true.
already in a sleepy mood.
Yeah,
And then
that's
the
true.
first 10-15 minutes of Rocky Balboa was boring
it's
as well,
bad.
so then I went slips, and then I fell asleep.
So we're going to pretend that we're in
Which-
1991, which means Rocky Balboa isn't going to be released in 15 years, so
Well, this actually
it doesn't exist anymore.
this
yet.
end caps are Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the numbered Rocky movies of the the originals.
Yeah.
Because the Balboa was kind of...
There's a 15-year gap between
Yeah.
Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa, so we're going to pretend that Rocky Balboa doesn't exist.
Essentially, Rocky Balboa doesn't continue the story. It just kind of...
Oh, really? No.
It just kind of... What has Rocky done now with his life? So with Rocky 5, it's kind of the end of the line, end of the story, end of the money grabbing time.
Yeah, Rocky Balboa will be a Patreon exclusive when we have a Patreon. So in the next 3 to 5 years,
it's going to be released. I'm not going to be putting on Patreon
because we don't have a Patreon.
No, it's not that. I want to release it in a fun way. So someone has to discover the podcast. We put it as
So we're going to put on a tape and throw it in Nigeria, like Doctor Who, and then have somebody find it 50 years later.
And then they'll look at it and go, Jesus, 2020 was a fucked year.
Yeah, what is this?
What is it? No, I was thinking you're putting it as a hidden annotation in the podcast somewhere.
What?
So I'm thinking having during the YouTube videos having a little annotation that pops up for a minute or 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
And then
or a second. And then it's gone forever.
About 10 seconds. And then people have to click on it and it'll link to the hidden episode.
Maybe. Which will be in the Patreon.
No.
Under £5.
No.
Meet money, Mitchell.
No, on the Patreon, it's going to be the unreleased episode of the Weatherspoons debacle.
Oh, no. Let's never talk about that again.
To give you a hint,
no.
It's Tim's story, we'll put it this way, of the Weatherspoons toilets.
And since then, he has never came back. So, Rocky 5.
So that's going to be on the Patreon in years to come.
Sure.
We're not going to have a Patreon for years to come.
Maybe.
By the end of the decade, if we have a Patreon,
Why not? Why do you hate Patreon?
Just because we're all really lazy, and I know we wouldn't put anything of worth up there.
How dare you? You're lazy. I'm not lazy. I'm sorry, what is this? Like, my neighbor is playing something very, very loud. Oh well. Anyway.
I mean, Tim's lazy.
Don't call Tim lazy. I'm not lazy. I just have nothing in my life. That's different. I have no reason to live. Anyway. Rocky 5.
What is this depression podcast of Rita?
Rocky 5.
So, Rita, how do you feel?
Was released in 1990.
So how do you feel about that?
I don't like it. Anyway,
so how does it emotionally impact your life?
It makes me even more depressed. Rocky 5 is the reason I have no reason to leave. Anyway.
For fuck's sake.
It's the fifth installment of the Rocky series. And was supposed to be the last, I'm pretty sure, until 2006.
You mean it was supposed to be the last, and then Sylvester Stallone probably got to a point when, Jesus, I'm becoming like this movie. I'm hit my fame. Now I'm in debt. I needed money.
And I have a restaurant.
Where is the Stallone restaurant?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm guessing in
He
Philadelphia.
hasn't hit rock bottom just yet.
Not yet, no.
We're gonna wait for like Stallone's sizzling sausages. Now that is a restaurant. Yeah. I want that as a restaurant.
If he ever opens a restaurant, it would be Rocky.
He would have a bar called On the Rocks.
The Italian Stallion.
There we go. All he does is serve Italian food.
Exactly. Made of horses.
Made of
Stallion's horse.
What is it? What is it? Sourced from Tesco?
Maybe.
I mean, they're good at selling horse meat.
Do they have Tesco's in Philadelphia?
I mean,
I don't know.
We don't know. If you're from,
tell us.
Please tell us if they have Tesco's in.
When you're writing a 5-star review on iTunes, please tell us if there's a Tesco in Philadelphia.
They're going to give us a 1-star review, said error 404.
Sure.
Tesco's not found.
Tesco's not found.
Like the website.
What website?
You can see our website.
No, you can't. It was written by Sylvester Stallone, but he didn't direct this one.
He did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
I know, I'm just playing with you.
The director from the first Rocky came back to do the last Rocky. I don't know why.
I was going to say, I wonder why.
It's a weird way to come back. Like, why come back for the last one?
Well...
Until 2006.
Do you think Stallone's like, right, I really need money, but I can't be bothered to direct it. So can they just get the guy back? Do you know the guy, bring him back, it'd be fine.
Get the first guy. Or maybe they were hoping to get back to, like, more prestigious. Because, like, 3 and 4 are fucking ridiculous. I like them, but they're ridiculous.
Rocky
1 is pretty serious.
Have you seen the Rotten Tomatoes reviews?
No, I didn't.
Basically, each year it decreases by like 10 to 20%. Yeah. And now we're down to 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, Rocky 5, like everyone was kind of like, what is this? Why is this?
It's like the Call of Duty of like the movie world, where everyone goes. It comes out when it doesn't need to.
I think that's Transformers.
Actually, no, it's FIFA. It comes out every year. It's basically the same shit.
Yeah.
To change it up a bit.
I'm pretty sure people would argue that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is FIFA.
I mean...
I don't agree because I like the MCU quite a bit.
No, I'm going to agree with them.
Fuck off.
Just to annoy you.
You haven't even seen every MCU movie. To be fair, neither have I. I haven't seen Incredible Hulk.
But, well, have you seen it all in the correct order? No, you're not a real fan, are you?
That's the Star Wars. Which, by the way, the correct order is 5, 4, 6. And that's it. You don't need to see the rest.
Basically, anything pre-Disney, you should be fine.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Because then that's the prequels.
Yeah, exactly. Anything.
Do you like the prequels? I don't like
anything
the prequels.
Pre-Disney. Just because Disney is never going to be Star Wars. It just annoys me.
Why?
I don't know.
I haven't seen the new Star Wars movies.
It just annoys me.
Yeah,
I've not seen it, but I'm just going to be one of those angry fans.
Sure. I mean, I liked Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I didn't like Rise of Skywalker. I thought that we were talking about everything except Rocky 5. That's how good that movie is.
It's like Doctor Who.
Anything
pre-Jodie Whittaker is great.
Shut up. You're just sexist.
I'm not sexist. She's just
you just don't like her because she has a vagina.
You're wrong. She's just a shit actress, and Chris Chibnall's a shit writer, and they fucked Doctor Who right up the ani.
Sure.
Yeah, she is actually a terrible actress. I mean, you had fucking Michelle Gomez who took over as the Master, and she played it as one of the best Masters out of all time. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sexist.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So in Doctor Who, you've got the Doctor, who's this like kind of vigilante kind of do-gooder who just does everything and wants to help everyone.
Okay.
The Master is the complete opposite. Basically, wants to kill everyone and take over the world.
Could you have said he's a villain?
So it's always been male. Then when they went to female Master, played by Michelle Gomez, she's a phenomenal actress, written amazingly, and it's one of the best.
Sure.
And so you have a female Doctor, which no one has a problem with. Yet she's a shit actress written by a shit person.
You're just sexist.
No, completely not. Completely not.
You're just sexist. Anyway, we should probably talk about the movie.
This is how good the movie. We're talking about Doctor Who because you don't know Doctor Who, but you can talk about it more because Rocky's shit. Rocky 5
I'm pretty sure nobody remembers that Rocky 5 exists. I had no memories whatsoever of this movie. Like, from the other movies, I hadn't seen all of them, but I knew, like, bits and pieces.
It's one of those things.
I knew that Rocky 3 was the one, like, with Mr. T and whatever, and Rocky 4 was the one with Russia, and Rocky 2 was... As you go
through, like, Rocky 1 to 5, it's like, oh, I know that one, and your memory just fades as it goes, just because they become so similar and so boring, and so, like...
I don't know, because I like Rocky 4, because I thought it was ridiculous, and I like Drago. But, like, Rocky 5 has, like, nothing going on for it. It's terrible. Anyway,
I mean, it didn't have Polly's sex robot.
That was the problem.
That was the problem.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. That would have fixed everything.
So if you went and instead of joining up with basically the villain of the movie, which is this crazy, like, what's his word? Like, manager.
Yeah.
And just joined up with the robot instead. I think I think everyone would be happy.
I agree.
People would be turned up in like alien outfits to see like the match, and everyone would love him.
Yeah. So again, starts with the ending of 4 because of course it does, because they all start with the ending of the other one.
It's like at the very beginning, it should just... Do you know what they should do? The first 5 minutes should say...
You should like pick your venture. Like, have you seen this movie? Yes. No. And then if you click on yes, it goes straight to the movie. If you click on no, you have a montage of the previous one.
It should just say, you've seen 1 to 4, right? You know what should go here. And now,
and you say,
moving on.
And you click yes, and then they show it to you anyway.
And if you click no, then they go, here's a link to go and watch the first movie. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this one's slightly different. Some of it was on black and white. Wow.
Ooh. It's like Tim's photography page. It's just all in black and white for no reason.
It's so ridiculous. Because, like, there's no reason for it to be in black and white. Some of it. It wasn't all of it, I think. It was just some of it.
No, it was all in black and white.
It wasn't. It was only some of them. Some of the shots.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I think it was one in black and white, because by that time, I already knew what was going to happen, so I was on my phone.
Yeah, so you didn't care. You weren't paying attention. God damn it, Mitchell.
Yeah, no.
How dare you?
Do you remember that person, Karen, who was on our first podcast?
Yeah. Who?
Sent me Disney stuff.
I think you mean Cass.
No.
Can you put your Apple Watch on silence, please?
No, I got a flex.
No. Okay, so after we have a replay of everything else, we start the movie. right after the fight with Drago, and like he's taking a shower and he's shaking everywhere, and then Adrian comes in. He's like, oh no, what's wrong?
That was never
shaking.
discussed in anywhere longer in the movie, like why he was shaking.
No, they go to the doctor.
It was just
he was injured. He has like a
oh,
brain injury.
You're injured, and then later on it's like, oh, he's back to fighting again.
Not really. Did we see the same movie?
Well, at the very end, he had a street boxing match.
Yeah, but it wasn't like an actual boxing match, just a street fight. Which,
I mean, surely
I strongly dislike, but we'll get to that.
I mean, surely if you got told, by the way, if you fight again, you're pretty much going to be a potato. You wouldn't want to fight again.
No, because then in Rocky Balboa, he gets a license to fight again, which I had plenty of notes about that, but then somebody didn't watch the movie.
Well, of course, we needed Patreon exclusive, right?
It's a Patreon exclusive coming to you in 3 to 5 years.
Because you'll still be unemployed by then.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
This is how much sidetracking we get because we're trying to make the movie interesting by injecting other shit in.
How dare you? This movie is amazing. So he's dying. He's shaking everywhere, and then
the doctor.
But no, does he go?
No,
first he comes back to the U.S., and then as soon as he lands, they have a conference in the airport, in the hangar of the airport. Like what? How and why?
Knowing like airport security, you ain't getting that many fuckers through there.
Well, it was in the 90s.
So
I don't know.
Pre 9/11.
Yeah. Could you just have a press conference in like the airplane hangar?
Talking about pre 9/11, we did an episode on that on DinoPod last year. Do you remember? It was very good.
Link is in the description. No, it's not.
It's not going to be there. If you're listening to this, just
it's episode 8?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, like
go listen to it. It's great.
So yeah, they have the conference, and it literally is like deja vu. It's like it's literally the same plot as a few movies previous, where Mr. T is like, "I'll fight you anywhere."
Kind of, but like, why does he want to fight Rocky though? Because Rocky like retires in Rocky 3.
Yeah.
And the fight from the last movie wasn't like an official thing. It was like an exhibition match.
Yeah.
So why does he want to find a fighter that's been retired like for like 15 years?
Why not?
It just makes no sense.
Not only that, it's like
if Usain Bolt to like prove himself that he was like the fastest man alive, he won't like run against Jesse Owens, which is 70 and needs a walker. By the way, I don't know if Jesse Owens is 70, but he won the Olympics like 70 years ago. It just makes no sense.
The problem is that they just use the exact same plot line as a couple of movies previous, and it was done worse, and the actual character of the boxer was never...
He doesn't speak.
There was no connection between us as a viewer and him. Like, when you see Mr. T, he's such a character in himself that...
Well, clearly the antagonist is more of the manager than the fighter. Just the fighter, like...
But the problem with
that... They introduce the fighter, but it goes nowhere.
And that's the problem, is the move, like Mr. T, the manager is the side character, and Mr. T is the main character.
And I think Mr. T had a manager. He had the trainer.
Well, had a trainer.
Yeah.
But it was kind of flipped, and you think, oh, this could be interesting, but in actual fact, he never fucking spoke. So there's no reason for you to get like invested or thinking that he's going to be any sort of threat.
No, it was like, there was no point to it. Like, that scene had no point to it, because that fighter, like, it's useless. And then the manager, like, comes back again to, like, redo that scene exactly the same, except it's in front of the pet shop and the gym. It's exactly the same thing. You have to fight this guy.
And that's the thing, is you take what this movie is, and I think we can both agree, is taking all the elements that kind of worked in previous movie, repeating it, and it not working.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, because he like I say, Mr. T is such a character in himself. Like, you don't even need to know he's Mr. T. He just turns up and is like, there's so much, you can see he's so angry and so lustful, as in, he just said a few words, and you already know that, like, oh fuck, here we go. But the way he said it was like,
no, it was like, no,
there was
terrible.
There was nothing to it. So you then end up with, I understand the manager was the villain of this whole movie.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. Because he was the villain at the beginning, and then he just kind of dies away when we get the new fighter that comes in. And then at the very end, it was all over the place, this movie. You never knew who you really... Like, in
he's
previous
a villain, and then, like, Tommy becomes a villain towards the end.
And that's the thing, is in previous movies, you've had one distinct villain, where it's like, Mr. T is the villain.
Drago is the villain. Apollo
is the villain.
They're not really villains.
No,
but like, they're the antagonist.
Whereas
antagonist
in this one...
is a better word.
Whereas this one, it's like...
It's the manager because he wants money, and then it's Tommy because he wants.
It's even more different. It's like, it's the fighter to begin with.
I never thought it was the fighter. To me, it was always like, clearly it was the manager.
Yes and no. I thought that they were I thought at the beginning they were gonna make it very similar to Drago, where it's like the manager speaks for him, and then slowly goes.
Yeah.
I thought that's how they were gonna, like, the manager goes, oh, this fighter will fight you anyway, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then as we go on, you see the big montages, and you're gonna start hating him. But in actual fact, it was like the manager was the villain, and it was like there's no connection between the audience and the actual fighter because it wasn't supposed to.
Can you hear that? I don't think so. Anyway.
So yeah, it was just all very confusing. I don't like it.
Also, the kids. So they go home, and the kid is there, and the kid, like, aged 15 years in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because this is right after 4 again, so it's like the next week or day or whatever. And the kid, like, goes from being a toddler or, like, a young child to being a teenager. It's so obvious. And
it's not even like that stereotypical, like, travel, like, 10 years later, ... And then you move forward. It wasn't that. It was just...
It's literally the next day.
It's almost like he fucking got into, like, a time machine and just went in the future. And it was cool.
Everything's terrible.
Yeah, you can tell that Stallone wrote this because so many elements are from previous movies and they just don't work together. Instead of having an element and it worked, it was kind of that kind of work, that kind of work, that kind of work. Put it all together, it's like
maybe he was just tired of writing these.
He got to number 3 and was like, oh, fucking hell,
I'm sick of this.
Let's do another one. And he's like, oh, that made a load of money.
Another one.
And another one.
Another one.
Adrian.
So we get to the other conflict of this movie, which is Polly is incredibly stupid and just signs everything to an accountant that we never met. And the accountant just steals all their money and also hasn't been paying the mortgage to the house. So they have to move back to a tiny place in Philly.
Okay, who's the dumbest? Rocky, Adrian, or Polly?
I don't know, like...
And in this...
Polly and Rocky, because I'm pretty sure if Adrian knew what was going on.
In this context, for letting Polly take the control of the finances, who's the most dumb?
No, apparently, like, he went behind her back somehow.
That's not what I got from it.
That's what I got from it.
I got that...
what I got from it was, like, Adrian had no idea that Polly signed over everything to the accountant. And I'm guessing he got, like, Rocky's signature, because Rocky, like, just does whatever, or does whatever Polly, like, wants.
No, because they said it's been going on for a while. So...
Yeah, so the accountant, I think, stopped paying stuff, but they didn't know, because again, that's what the accountant's for. Leave the accounts to him.
But surely, if you are checking your bills.
I guess not. They just trusted the shitty accountant.
Or but then that means she would have known that this accountant was not doing his job. It wasn't explained in any way, shape, or form.
No, the way they explain is like Polly signed over all of their money to him, and then he ran away with it. And also, he didn't pay the house, and also they have to move back, and also they're poor now.
That doesn't make any sense because, as Polly, the house, they could sign the house off, but surely Rocky has a bank account. Surely Adrian has her own bank account.
Apparently not.
So are all three of them that dumb to have the same bank account?
Yes.
With the same, all written in their names.
I think that was what happened.
Literally everything is like, we got a house. It's our house.
Yeah. I mean,
I have no sympathy for that person.
It's like, it makes no sense.
Fair enough if it's Rocky, because you're like, Rocky's a bit dumb. But Adrian
makes no sense.
Is not. Adrian is probably the cleverest out of all three, by far. Yet she lets that slide.
It's ridiculous.
It's completely, absolutely stupid. It's just completely idiotic.
So now that Rocky's poor again, he goes back and gets his leather jacket. And the fedora is back.
The fedora is okay. The one good thing about this movie, the fedora
is back.
And the jacket.
He's like, I'm poor now. Let's go back to leather jackets and fedoras.
Do you think it was the original?
Probably not.
No, I don't think it is.
I doubt it.
But how many people must cosplay this? Because it's so easy.
I don't know. I've never seen the Rocky cosplay.
Actually, I know. I've been to so many. I might have seen it, but not recognised it.
Maybe.
Actually,
should we go to? I have a leather jacket. I just need to get a fedora.
Please don't wear a fedora, because that is the picture that's going to go on our team page on our website.
Please don't go to our website. It's under construction. Anyway.
There's no under construction sign on it. It's just Tim does a bit of work, and then
every 4 months.
And then goes on Football Manager.
Tim, if you're listening to this,
do some fucking work.
Send us a message to complain about us. Anyway.
Send us a message. What is he, E.T.? Well, now that is a good movie.
Put it on the group chat. Anyway, so the fedora's back. And they move back to Philly, like the suburbs of Philly, where everything's kind of gone to shit, I guess.
Surely they couldn't. There must have been anywhere else in the world they could have moved back to.
No, they have to move back to exactly the same place where they used to live. Otherwise, what's the point?
What's the plot point?
What's the point of this movie? Anyway, so they go to the doctor. Rocky has brain damage, and then
they call it like
they call it
like fighters fighter damage or something where it's like where there's a piece in their mind, in their brain, which gets like damaged because of constantly getting swacked around the face. Yeah, like brain damage because they get constantly punched in the head, which is fair, I guess. Adrian, I got brain damage.
You should know about this. The NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the NFL? Yeah. They have like a huge problem with concussions.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad.
And like, it's terrible.
Oh yeah, no, it's really... most teams have their own onboard like brain doctor, and
like a lot of players end up killing themselves because of it.
Yeah, it's really
damage. It's terrible. It's horrible.
And rugby's even worse because they've got no helmets. And that's why when people say, "Oh, American football shit because they've got a load of padding," it's like, yeah, because you don't want to fucking die when you're doing your sport, mate. Come on.
Well, I don't know if the helmets help that much.
I mean,
because like to be fair, I don't see rugby a lot, but it's different that they're not as violent.
Have you seen Scottish rugby?
No, I haven't.
They're fucking apeshit.
It's a different game.
Anyway. It's a different game, but it's...
I feel like they're not... Because, the fact that they're also wearing a huge piece of, armor or whatever, I feel like that makes it worse when you hit some other person rather than just a person.
And not only that, you train differently between rugby and American football. It's like, I built a brick fucking shithouse. I'm running at you at 10, 50 miles an hour. You're going down. Whereas rugby, they're more agile, if you know what I mean. And not built so big. So yeah, brain damage in sport is really bad.
It is.
But
something like that.
I mean, did you see Michael Schumacher?
No, I haven't.
He was doing skiing, so proper skiing. He had a really bad so he was in motorsport for years.
That's different. That was an accident.
He had a skiing accident, and it's brain dead for life.
That's different.
But I think a lot of these sports, they're so in football, they've got shin pads and stuff. But if you go down on your head,
yeah.
But yeah, it's rife even today because it kind of goes when you go forward in the movie. Well, no, if you're at the when they're in the hangar talking, they'll say, "What's your comments on banning boxing because of the health and safety issues?"
Yeah, because of injuries. Which is ridiculous, by the way.
And not only that, Rocky returned it should be banned.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He does.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. Okay. I believe you, because I don't remember half of this movie.
I mean, I was on my phone during it, but I was listening.
No, I have some notes make no sense to me. So apparently at one point he's hallucinating or remembering Mickey and hallucinating or watching. He sees Mickey somewhere. Because I write Mickey was awesome. Also, Rocky's hallucinating probably from the brain damage. So I don't remember that scene at all.
Yeah, no,
But I'm guessing because you saw the movie yesterday. I took notes, but I saw the movie 2 weeks ago, probably more.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because I watched them all one after the other.
Yeah, no, he does have.
It's weird.
Hallucinations and things, which
probably means the brain damage is real, which makes no sense. They can fight 15 years later, suddenly he can fight again. Anyway, I also have a note that says, "Go Adrian." I don't know what that means. That's from the fight in front of the pet shop.
Yes,
when the manager comes back. Yes. She's the only reasonable person. Dude, you have brain damage. You've been retired for 5 years. You're not fighting him. Go away, manager. Go away.
Let's be real. The best actor in this entire movie is her.
Yeah, it's Talia Shire. I think.
She just says, "Fuck this."
She's stop. Am I the only one with brains? Are you an idiot? You're not fighting him.
So I know you got brain damage, but it's I know you've got brain damage, but you should see that
He just wants money, you idiot. Stop it.
And then Polly's "Do it, mate. Fine, be great."
Yeah, we need money. Because I signed all of the hour accounts to accountant and he ran away with the money. We need money. And Rock is sure. And then Adrian comes out, "Are you stupid?"
It's "Are you brain damaged?" Yes,
yes I
am.
You're not fighting again, you idiot.
Oh
and then she dies and he fights again. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So
I thought, okay, I'm going into Rocky Balboa, but when I thought when she was passed away, I thought that they did that because the actual actress passed away, but she didn't.
I thought that too.
Because I literally went on my phone and went, "Fucking hell, she died," and then it doesn't sound bad. I was kind of disappointed. I thought I was really clever.
No, you're not clever at all. She's alive. She's appeared in season 5 or 6 of Grace and Frankie, which is with Jane Fonda and
yes,
Lily Tomlin.
Yes.
Anyway, it's a pretty funny series, to be fair. So their kid goes to school now. And I don't know about you, but my school entrance was not through a fence. through a hole in a fence. Like, that's so stupid. Like, one thing is like him showing the kid like sneaking out of school through the hole in the fence. No, Rocky drops him at the hole in the fence. Like, what? What?
I understand the iconography of it as like, this is rough. They go for a fence to get in there. I'm like, okay,
surely the school has an actual entrance.
You don't know. Maybe they don't.
All of the exits and entrances are sealed except for the hole in the fence. That sounds about right.
During lunchtime, they like zip tie the fence together and say, "You fuckers ain't going anywhere."
Yeah, I mean,
that is bad.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, come on, like honestly, come on.
Then you got to think to yourself: do they think about this stuff during their production meetings? Be like, do you know what the kids should do? You think you should go for a fence, or do they turn up on set and they go, "There's a hole in the fence"?
I mean,
makes sense.
I guess they were like, at the scene, like the set people made the playground. Like, where's the school entrance? And they're like, school entrance.
Like school entrance. Chop, chop, chop.
There you go.
There you go.
I mean,
and then Sylvester Stallone turns around and says, "Genius."
What was that?
I don't know.
Genius. Okay.
Genius.
Also, they're supposed to be teenagers because they act like teenagers, but like, how old are the kids? I don't understand like the age, like the timeline, because they act like teenagers.
Because how old is he in Rocky 4?
But he's Rocky 4, like he's like a kid, like 8, 9. But here, they act like teenagers and dress like teenagers, like, and look 11 or like 12. Like, what's the age? What's happening
say he's
here?
Like 13 or 14. Fair enough, maybe. But I can't remember what's his name. The Rocky's kid. What's his name?
It's Robert.
Robert. The actor who plays him was very good.
It's his son, I think.
And the actual...
I think it's actually Sylvester Stallone's son. I could be wrong.
And the bullies are really terrible actors.
Horrible.
It's like, give me your lunch money. And then he's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean my lunch money?
What
makes you think I have lunch money? Give me your jacket. No. But
yeah, like, those actors were terrible. That's why they say don't work with children or animals.
Yeah, it's so, like... They don't look like teenagers, and they act a bit like teenagers. Do you know, like, have you seen West Side Story?
No.
Like, the gangs are, like... The gangs at the beginning, like, singing and dancing, like, snapping their fingers. But they're, like, very bad gangs. It's, like, ridiculous. Makes no sense. That's what it reminds me. I'm super bad. But also, he's, like, singing at the same time and snapping his fingers. As he tries to rob money.
Do you think that what happened was Stallone didn't write this part? It's like his co-writer or something. And then Stallone's
I don't think
like,
he has a co-writer.
Or do you think Stallone wrote this for like another time period, or like he was going to do it in the future?
They should have aged the kid.
But what I think happened, he wrote the story for another actor, and then his son said, "Oh, I want to do that." Cool.
I don't know if it was that.
I don't know. It just does. There must have been a thought process.
They should have aged the kid because.
Or like de-age the kid.
Yeah, because then we meet Tommy, because he goes to talk to Rocky in front of the gym, and then he shows up at the gym, and then he fights another dude, and like completely kills him, destroys him.
I mean,
and then Rocky's like, I don't want to be your manager, and then 5 minutes later, like, I'll be your manager, and then starts training him.
No, yeah, like.
It's like, why not, if they aged up the kid, and my notes I have this later on, why not just have him train the kid? Wouldn't that be more interesting? Cliche as fuck, sure, but like, a bit more sense, because then you can have the kid fight the fighter that were introduced in the beginning of the film.
Because, yeah, it's like, what they could have done is had Stallone's little boy play...
Please don't call him a little boy.
Well, he was.
Please don't refer to him as a little boy. is creepy, especially with the notes that I have after this.
Okay, so Stallone's son could have played the younger version and then gradually like change the actors or whatever, and to the point where he's like fully grown, so it's like a 10-year period.
Yeah.
And then Rocky is got this amazing whoop-ass son.
Yeah.
Who then beats Tommy Gunn. Because Tommy's like, imagine if Tommy was supposed to be the best person in the world at fighting, and then Rocky's son turns up and smashes him. That'd be so much more interesting. But
I don't know. Because so Rocky becomes Tommy's manager or coach or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Tommy moves in with him.
Let's go back a bit. What do you... when Tommy Gunn turned up and did that fight with doing the sparring...
Yeah.
He's good at boxing, but has looked like he's never boxed before. As in, he knew exactly what to do, but didn't know how to stop. So surely he must have had some training.
I don't know. I think his training is like... I think he says he fights, like...
So like...
Fighting, like... Not really...
No.
Like Fight Club or whatever.
No.
Doesn't he say that?
In the future, do you know when they had the fight at the very end?
Yeah.
The manager says, don't fight him. He knows how to street fight. Basically saying, you don't know how to do street fighting. Yeah, he does. So
I don't know.
Either he spends his life punching a punch bag.
Maybe.
Or he's trained with other people.
I think then he trained with other people, and now he wants to train with Rocky because it's Rocky Balboa.
Literally Rocky's there and he's like, watch me, Dad. I can do really well. Punch. It's really weird. It doesn't
make sense.
This entire movie can be summed up in a phrase. It doesn't make sense.
No. Anyway.
Rocky 1, 2 and 3 make sense. Rocky 4 and 5 don't.
I like Rocky 4. Anyway.
You just like it because it has a really good montage.
It does. Where was I?
And it's so 80s it hurts my brain.
Yeah. So Tommy moves in with them. Why? Was he living in the streets before? Do they give an explanation for that? I can't remember.
So...
half of this podcast episode will be I can't remember.
No, it's not. Knowing how... So... I know, knowing how you get muscle and strength, half of it is like your diet and what you eat, and kind of like half of your body, like if you're trained to become a fighter, you have to eat right, you have to drink right, you have to do training.
Yeah, it's not just like physical training. You have to take care of what you eat. And
if you're living on the street, the likelihood is you're not eating.
But was he living on the street?
That's what I it doesn't make sense.
Like, why?
Okay.
It's not like they have... That's the thing. They don't even have a spare room. Because then, Polly or the kid has to like sleep at the same room as Polly, which Polly is weird. He makes like a really creepy comment. Like when they say that he's sharing the room with the kid.
Yeah, that's very creepy.
It was a really creepy comment.
Especially as later on he turns up in a Santa's outfit.
Like, I wouldn't let Uncle Polly sleep in the same room as my kid.
I would not let him near a child. I'd put a restriction between him and a school within 100 metres. But I know the only thing that I could come up with is if he was living with his parents and so he got really big and then they kicked him out for some reason.
No, because they didn't say he was from somewhere else.
Yeah, so he could have trained really hard
Maybe
somewhere else, living with a parent, and then came to Philadelphia because he knew that Rocky was there and wanted to get a shot.
I mean, I don't know.
And that would have made more sense if there was a backstory, but there was no backstory.
I don't remember any of Tommy's backstory. Anyway.
Because there wasn't any.
Yeah,
I guess. This is what I mean, is we're basically coming up with backstory to make this make fucking sense.
Yeah.
So if you want a director or a camera operator, please employ us.
Sure. Yes. Please check out our website. No, check out our website. Anyway.
Yeah, no, don't value
Send a message on our Twitter.
Don't value us based on our website.
It's not finished.
Is it ever going to be finished?
Shut up.
Your answer is no. As
soon as this Rocky starts training Tommy, he forgets that he has a kid. It's not even a slow descent in
Bad Dad 101.
It's immediately he forgets he has a kid. Look, Dad. Shut up, Robert. Tommy's better than you. You're not my kid anymore. It was oh my god, can this get worse? Yes, it can.
It's like how to be a bad dad 101.
Yeah.
Just follow these 5 steps to be the worst dad ever. Congratulations.
Yeah. And then I one of my notes is Robert's going to become a serial killer.
This is all the hallmarks. This is all the hallmarks of becoming a serial killer.
Because then he starts training, punching stuff. And he becomes weird.
He got beat up for the jacket, and then he got beat up again, and then he
starts training.
He started training at the same gym with Polly. Yeah,
right. Why Polly? If it was another trainer at the gym, sure, but why Polly?
So, is this just because Polly is a stepdad to him type thing, where it's
he's a creepy uncle that sleeps with him?
Or is it a creepy uncle that kind of...
He's a creepy uncle that sleeps with him.
Is. So he sleeps with him instead of the robot. The robot's malfunctions.
Oh god, no. Let's not go there.
So,
It's terrible.
So he essentially trains him.
Yeah, I don't know which scene there do I write this note from, but they're probably going to become a serial killer.
Not anymore.
From the neglect of his father,
Because that's the thing, is he then trains with Polly for a bit.
And then beats up the other kids.
And it
really easily. We see him train once. And then next scene he's beating up all of the kids at the same time. And then they're friends.
And then they're friends.
At the end, they're friends. What is this?
And then he gets his jacket back and goes to Rocky and is oh, at school I just beat up someone.
Yeah, I got my jacket back. And Rocky's okay, but where's Tommy? It's okay, kid, whatever. I'll go back to
the problem in that scene is it's just... I know what they were going for.
I don't think they know what they were going for.
No, I think they were going for, hey, look at this kid who's been neglected. Look how bad Rocky is, and
yeah,
but it just came off as boring, predictable,
it's so boring,
and just not good.
Yeah.
But in terms of I don't even know, it just felt flat.
Yeah, no, and then another thing that's predictable, Duke guy trying to poach Tommy.
No, they had him winning all the fights.
Yeah, he starts winning, and then it was so obvious that as soon as he starts winning, and they show footage of Duke watching, it's he's going to poach him.
It's do you know this movie is the mirror opposite of do you remember when Mickey was watching is it movie 2? Yeah, I think it's, which one's the one where he was watching them and then Rocky said, I want to go fight him, and he turned around and said, by the way, you're going to die. Is that?
No, that's 3.
That's Rocky 3.
That's with Mr. T.
So he then does the complete flip opposite. So Rocky 5 is basically Rocky 3, but in reverse.
Is it? Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
I
wouldn't say that.
It's not completely, but basically they've taken all the elements from all the other movies and then kind of flipped them on their head or changed them a bit, and then just put them all back together.
Anyway, it's kind of obvious the Duke guy, because he introduces Tommy to a prostitute or whatever, and she's not a prostitute, But like this woman, very like attractive woman that comes from nowhere.
Basically,
which I'm pretty sure he paid for her to be there. So a prostitute. And then Tommy starts dating her.
Dating. In quotation marks.
Yeah, that leads to like later on Tommy leaving Rocky.
Yeah, this is probably the one of the worst bits of it. It's like, how do we make this guy look like an arsehole? Let's just bring a person here who says nothing, does nothing, looks pretty. Wow.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about Robert's earring?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Well, like, honestly, come on. It was like a feather, wasn't it?
This is the 90s, but it's not the mid-90s.
It was terrible. It was like so emo.
It's the 90s version of like, the Apollo and Rocky crop top.
It's like the little kid saw like some bad guys in a movie, and now he wants to be them, so he gets an earring. It was terrible.
Do you know what it is? It's like I say, it's the 90s version of the Rocky and Apollo crop top.
Oh god.
And it's also the 90s version of Mr. T's feather.
It was so terrible. It was so like their way of showing that Robert like has gone off the rails. He got an earring.
And it's not even
like, how did he get an earring?
Like, Mr. T wore it because it's like...
Because Mr. T is ridiculous.
He's completely ridiculous. He's a caricature of his own. But that's because there's history behind it.
Is there?
Yeah, the reason why a lot of people will wear it is because it's like tribal.
Sure. So it's like cultural appropriation from the Native Americans.
And then he just wears it for no fucking reason.
Because he's Mr. T.
No, not Mr. T. I'm talking about Robert.
Oh,
he
Robert.
wear it for absolutely no reason, and it looks horrific.
No, it's like, like their way of showing he's bad now. And, like, he wears a earring, and his girlfriend, now he has a girlfriend.
Do you think if they did it in modern times, he would turn up with, like, black eyeliner, like a My Chemical Romance t-shirt, and be like, I hate you, Dad. I don't like you anymore.
Like the Suicide Squad Joker, like damaged on the forehead.
Yes.
That's how you know he's bad.
And he'd have like a little tear under his eye and ink.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
the tear.
Yeah.
When I murder somebody tear. Yes. It's so stupid. And again, he looks 12, which makes it even more ridiculous.
And that's the thing. If they did it cleverly, they would have made it so over time he would have got older and become more and more like angry against Rocky, but instead
because like this is a few months.
It should have been like over time.
It's just so terrible.
It should have taken a long while, and then the kid got older and older and started hating his father more and more.
Yeah.
And then the payoff would have been so much better.
Yeah.
But guess what? Instead, feather.
Is it a feather, actually? I can't remember if the earring was a feather.
Whatever it was shit.
It was shit. Anyway, so then Adrian... I don't know if she has I can't remember if she has a talk with Robert or with Rocky, but she talks sense into one of them. I think it's Rocky, and she's like, dude, you're losing your kid. Can you focus on your kid for like 1 second?
And Rocky's like...
What kid? We have a kid? Like, oh my god, why'd I marry you? No, she's like, she's the only smart person in that family.
She, if anything, she's the person who carries the movie in my eyes. She's the one
She's the one that has a rational thought throughout the whole movie. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, every time she comes on scene, basically what she's saying, what the fuck are you doing?
That's the thing. She's a decent actress.
She's a good actress.
She's got plenty of reasoning. And she's the only one who actually kind of helps the story instead of just kind of like tips the story along, like goes dot to dot. I'm just saying that she's the best thing in this movie by far.
It's terrible. I mean, this whole movie is terrible. So after that, So Duke poaches Tommy and gets him a fight with the championship.
He's like, come to my penthouse mansion. You'll love it.
I'll get you a champions fight or whatever.
He's like, just come with me, come on my wing, and we'll make you the best.
Yeah. So he gets him a fight for the championship, and then I thought Tommy was going to lose.
I wanted him to lose.
Me too. But then he wins ridiculously easy.
Yeah, and not only that, is that then I know what they were going for with the whole crowd booing scenario.
Yeah.
But because the rest of the movie's so flat, it looked so flat as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't even loud. The audience reaction. Do you know when Apollo came down on the fucking whatever? It was like not rhino. It's like it was a massive elephant head thing, and it come down.
What was this? An elephant?
Well, they had like an elephant head that was like breaking in two in the previous. No, was it previous? Rocky IV when he was up against Drago.
Oh, the whole when he was.
And then the crowd went fucking mental.
Was that an elephant? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was an elephant head. Whereas this time, when they were booing, it was like.
Boo. Boo, I guess. Can we go home now?
Can we go home now? So it felt bad. It felt like there was no energy.
Also, there's no proper training montage.
I didn't even notice that. They were kind of the best things about this movie, the fight and the training montage. Where was the training montage?
There was no training montage. Like, what's the point of a Rocky movie without a training montage?
Unless they counted the time when they were doing the fights.
It wasn't even that, though. It was like...
Plus,
it was terrible.
He had a little, like, not a training montage, but like a training segment where he was getting better and punching that lot. But where was the whole... Where was it?
Now, I also thought, like, it was going to come out that Duke paid the other guy to lose the fight so Tommy could become champion.
It mean you would have to be a smart writer, Rita. You couldn't do it.
Turned out he was just, like, the champion, and the problem was just complete garbage. So everyone's like, to be a proper champion, have to fight Rocky. Or whatever. It's
like, to be a true champion, you have to fight this guy who's been
retired for 15 years.
Who's got brain damage. Yeah, you have to fight a brain damaged retired man to be the best.
Yeah. So he goes to where... Is it a gym or is it a bar? No, it's a bar. How does he know that Rocky's in that bar? Because then he goes there and like starts shouting for him to fight him, and Rocky's like, no.
Well, I think it's probably because, as we see...
Is it close to the gym?
Not even that. It's because we've seen parts where everything is shut. This is the last place open. So he could have driven around the neighbourhood for like hours.
I'm just looking for Rocky! Rocky! And then Rocky is...
Oh, there he is.
There he is. So yeah, he goes he wants to fight Rocky, and Rocky's like, no thank you.
He's like, thanks,
and then
but no thanks.
No thanks. And then he walks into the bar and starts like shouting at Rocky or whatever. And then he pushes Paulie? How's it? Because like he doesn't... The fight starts...
Yeah, no. Paulie pushes him away.
Pushes him away and then pushes back Paulie or something. And then when Rocky starts fighting him. And then they have a street fight, which is like the most disappointing thing you could have done. Like having him fight Rocky and Rocky winning in an actual boxing ring would have been cliche, sure. But would have been better than this.
No, what should have happened was Rocky should have like lost or like been humiliated.
I didn't want Rocky to lose. I wanted Tommy to be humiliated.
No, I wanted that to happen, and then I wanted him to win, but all the papers were like, oh, it wasn't an actual win because they need to do it in the ring, and then later on he then fights him in the ring and Rocky wins again.
Yeah, I don't know.
So basically there's like...
That would have been a movie... That movie would have been so long.
Yeah, but we had a 2 hour and 30-minute movie called Rocky 2.
No, that was only 2 hours.
I mean, 2 hours plus.
No,
the credits on these movies went from extremely long to extremely short, which was good.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you notice that
this movie was already like an hour and like 50 minutes. It was just already so long.
Did you notice that the dedication to his first what was his name? Claire something?
You mentioned that last.
Yeah, it was there again.
I didn't watch all of the credits. Movie ended. Close. Goodbye.
You are a terrible Marvel fan.
What? Not for a Marvel movie. I'm not a terrible... Stop it.
As we all know, you have to stay to the credits now. You have to sit through.
No. This is an 80s movie. This is a 90s movie, so it doesn't have an end credit scene.
This is a movie?
Yeah.
You sure?
So Duke is like... He's there shouting at Tommy to like shut up or whatever. He's then like just then at one point trying to stop the fight, kind of. It's like, what are you, like, stop it, just go away. Like, you're just stupid, just go away. He was so obnoxious, like, oh my god.
It looks like
a good villain. You want to see more of a good villain. You don't want him to like, oh my god, just shut up.
It sounds like a kid when they're like, I could beat my dad's bigger than your dad. Ah.
Yeah.
It's boring.
It's so boring.
This movie is so boring.
Yeah. So they fight. Rocky beats the shit out of Tommy. Tommy goes down, and then Rocky starts walking away, and then Tommy, because he's a piece of trash, just sucker punches him in the head when Rocky has his back turned. And then they fight some more, and then Rocky like kills Tommy. No, I wish. And then looks like Rocky's going to lose, but then he defeats Tommy or whatever, and then walks away. And then the movie ends, I think. That's what I remember.
We've probably skipped over a load of it, but then this is how
that's basically it.
This is how uneventful this whole entire movie was.
That's basically it. They fight. Rocky kind of defeats him, and then starts walking away, and then Tommy comes back and punches him in the back of the head, and then they fight some more, and then it looks like he's going to lose, but then he doesn't lose.
This whole movie could be
ends.
Essentially, this movie goes as follows. Replay of last movie.
Yeah.
Bankrupt. Move away.
He hates his kid.
Trains another guy. Guy goes away. Guy
he gets disappointed on guy.
Rocky's kid comes, loves him again.
Oh yeah,
Rocky beats up guy.
How did he make amends with his kid? I can't remember at all. Did he make amends with the kid?
Yes.
He did.
Essentially, once he went away, his kid's like realizes that he's kind of sad. And then
because again, Adrian has like a talk with both of them, and
and he's like, go after him.
Go follow him, Dad. Tell him how you feel. Anyway, it's like
so this whole movie could be simplified into 9 or 10 bullet points, and you wouldn't actually lose any of the plot.
It's so boring. Like the fight is not even interesting. They could have made, because it was like a street fight, they could have made it more interesting somehow, but they don't. It was just, I don't know.
Do you know what they could have done? Really simply, they could have started beating each other up. Police stepped in, stopped the fight.
Yeah, Rocky could have been an adult. Like, you're 50.
Not even that.
Like, don't fight a guy in the street.
Did you notice the police cars were there, but they didn't stop the fight?
Seriously?
Yeah, there was police cars with the lights on. And
I didn't even notice that. So I don't remember it.
So they could have literally ran in, stopped the fight, and then they could have had I will get you, and then you could have had a small little training montage.
Okay, Tommy could just kill Rocky.
No, you could have done that.
That's what they should have done. They should have had Tommy just kill him.
No. What should have happened
that would have been more shocking.
A small training montage.
Oh, no training montage.
And then Rocky goes on to goes and tries to do over him, and then Tommy Gunn literally just sucker punches him in the head, and then he becomes like brain damaged, and Adrian's like,
he's already brain damaged.
No, but like, do you know they said if you fight again, you're pretty fucked.
You'll die.
But it could have ended like that, where Adrian's like, I told you, no.
No, Tommy should have he should have died. If Rocky had died, the end would still be, the movie would still be probably shit, but at least it would be different from like all of the other movies, and then we wouldn't have Rocky Balboa, which Rocky Balboa is also boring and kind of stupid.
We could have had do you know what should have happened? It should have happened the other way around. Like Rocky got brain damaged, complications, he dies, and the next movie is Adrian
fighting.
No, not fighting, but just coming to
dealing with it.
I
don't know. No, this movie is so boring.
But yeah, actually no, he should have died. He should have just ended the Rocky series.
Yeah.
Because surely he must have known that there wasn't going to be a Rocky 6.
No, because again, like, it took him 15 years to write Rocky Balboa. So,
no, but he didn't write that in 15 years.
What?
Yeah, I bet he didn't take 15 years to write that.
No, I mean, he waited 10 years to even start thinking about writing a Rocky Balboa.
So that's the thing.
I saw in my research that he was very disappointed with Rocky 5, which is why he wrote Rocky Balboa.
But that's the thing. He should have realised that he wasn't going to make another one and just put a scene in there where Rocky dies.
So it's the end.
And
sure.
The next movie, instead of him being the kid turns from into an office guy, could have been that the guy turns into the next Rocky fighter.
That's Creed.
See? If you did it that way, it would have made sense.
But then you didn't have Creed.
So? Did anyone ask for Creed?
Not really. Did anyone ask for Rocky Balboa? No.
Did anyone ask for Rocky 5?
No.
Did anyone ask for Rocky 4 apart from you? Because you like
I like Rocky 4.
You like the 80s training montage.
I said they should have ended with 4.
You only like it because it's got a good training montage.
Because it's ridiculous. I must break you.
I must break you.
And it's so ridiculous.
You had Rocky in the snow doing all of this.
Yeah.
And then you had the scene where Adrian turns up. And he's like, and then you had the complete opposite where it's the Russians doing all this sciencey shit.
Yeah.
But this movie had no heart. It had no plot. And it's boring. And if it would have ended on Rocky dying, then it would have been memorable. But it didn't.
Yeah, it would be the one where Rocky dies.
Because if that happened, it's like
because nobody remembers Rocky 5.
And that's the thing. If Rocky 5 was the one where Rocky dies, everyone would have been like. So everyone would go through it and go, Rocky 1 was good, Rocky 2 was good, Rocky 3 was weird, Rocky 4 had a cool training montage, and Rocky 5 he dies. You would have.
Yeah.
Whereas you do all those 4 and you get to 5 and goes, and Rocky.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about half of the world doesn't know Rocky 5 exists. You're like, wait.
It made enough money on box office though. Like $340 million.
Yeah, but then they forgot about it. Like the Star Wars holiday special.
Or Mandalorian, because it doesn't actually exist in the UK.
Yeah.
Because.
Not until March. Is it March? Yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing people know is Baby Yoda.
Which.
Because memes.
Well, who doesn't like it because. I think it's Jon Favreau doesn't like it when they call it Baby Yoda. I saw that somewhere.
I don't care what anyone says. It's Baby Yoda just because it makes sense.
It's not Yoda though.
Yeah, but
it's somebody who has the same species as Yoda, I think. I haven't seen the series, so I don't really know.
Yeah, but no one needs to know that. It's Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Is Grey's Anatomy on Disney Plus? It should be, because it's ABC. And Disney owns ABC.
Disney fucking knows everything.
They do.
Which is really
also,
weird.
because Grey's Anatomy is leaving Amazon Prime. Which I cancelled.
I mean...
We should do a month on Grey's Anatomy. It's so good.
Yes. No.
Yes.
It has to be movies.
Next month, it's no longer Toy Story. It's Grey's Anatomy.
So it's a Tim month. It's the month with Tim because Mitchell's not turning up.
What? No. Okay.
Because he's going to be watching and doing his own podcast on Toy Story.
We didn't rate... Did we rate last Rocky 4 out of 5 dinos? We didn't. We forgot that thing that we did once.
Okay, we're going to make a new thing because I've just thought of it. At the end, we'll review the month.
Okay.
So Rocky 1 out of 10, go.
8.
I'd say 7.
Okay.
2.
Rocky 2. 5.
Yeah.
I strongly disliked.
5, yeah, true. 3.
6.
Probably 5. 4.
7. I thought it was ridiculously good. In a way that's so ridiculous that I liked it. I thought it was fun.
6. I'd give it a 6.
Okay.
Rocky 5.
3.
Probably 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
So if we take all of those, let's work this out. If we take all of those, so how much? So
wait.
So you said for number 1 was...
I said 8.
8. I said 7.
7.
You said...
For 2 was 5.
Yep, and I said...
5. And then for 3 I said 6. You said 5. And then 4 I said 7. You said... What did you say for 6?
6.
And then I said 3 and then you said 2. And definitely...
27, divide that by 100, times that by...
What?
5.
Okay.
We probably, if I'm honest, we probably average around about 5 or 6 out of 10.
Why did you multiply by 100? Wait, divide by 100 and then multiply by 5. Were you trying... what?
I'm trying to get an average of the whole movie series.
That's not even good averages. I don't like it at all.
I'm just trying to think. Let's say we give the whole... Rocky 1 to 5. Rocky 1 to... No, we're not working... We're not being scientific.
It should have been like 27 divided by 5 because we got 5 movies, right?
So, okay, work that. 27 divided by 5.
5.4. An average of 5.4.
So... Let's round it.
That math was probably completely wrong.
Let's just give it a 5.5.
We have a university degree. We have a bachelor's degree, and we don't know how to do a basic average.
Okay, let's just take 5.5 out of 10 for the whole Rocky 1 to 5 series.
Yeah, Rocky 5 really pulled it down.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Rocky 5, the average would have been 7.
6.5, 7.
Yeah.
So
fuck you,
rough.
Rocky 5.
Yeah, this was rough. But don't worry, because next week...
month, February.
So next week...
Which is next month.
I know, because we can do calendar work with our bachelor's degree.
Next month, it's Toy Story month.
Yeah!
Where we talk about...
the best animated series of all time.
Disagree. We talk about every week. One Toy Story movie. So Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I'm so excited
for all of February. Your
initial thoughts are?
I know it's a sacrilege or whatever. I don't like the Toy Story movies. I don't think they're. I'm not saying they're bad. It's not my. It's not my cup of tea. To be very British, it's not my cup of tea.
I fucking love them. They are amazing.
We know that. Yeah.
I have a Woody backpack.
I know that.
I've got multiple Toy Story shirts and
that's true.
Hoodies.
That's true.
I've got loads of merchandise on it.
Also true.
I cry at pretty much every movie.
Why?
Toy Story 3 is the most sad I've ever been while watching anything in my entire life.
That's okay.
Watching Andy give... Watching Andy...
Save it for the actual
I'm just giving my initial...
That's not initial thought, that's like
full
blown
watching Andy drive away from the toys is the most saddest fucking scene of all time.
No,
I cried my eyes out.
No, it isn't.
And
it truly
I remember being as a kid, and I still love it to this day.
Sure. I didn't like it as a kid. I don't like it now.
Toy Story is phenomenal, and I love it with all my heart, and it will ever... Okay, most of it is nostalgia, but shut up. I'm gonna sit in my nostalgia and cry myself to sleep watching Toy Story.
Well, I guess it'll be interesting because we'll have very different opinions on it.
We're gonna be sitting here whilst
like Rocky 5, where we both hate it.
Have you noticed the whole Rocky series? We've agreed on most things.
That's true, yeah.
So next month is going to be a really difficult one because I'm going to be sat here squeeing over everything.
And I'll be like, it was whatever. Who cares?
We're going to end up with like an average score of 5 because you're going to say it's about a 0 and I'm going to say 10.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Until we get to Toy Story 4, which that's where it becomes interesting and you'll find out.
Do you not like 4? Do I like 4? I thought it was alright. We'll see.
So
wait until next month to find out.
Toy Story 1, 2, 3 and 4 coming soon to
Spotify / iTunes podcast / Castbox / YouTube near you
/ might be on the website if Tim actually does it.
Coming soon to a platform near you.
Yeah.
Also follow us on Twitter. And
we don't post. Tim does all social media. He doesn't post anything.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram,
where Tim manages it and doesn't do anything.
You can also follow our personal Instagram, Rita_Grill and Chubby. Sorry.
1, 2, 3. Where I don't post anything apart from Brexit stuff
and Tim Kitchener.
Yeah, which he has
17 different profiles. So good luck
Tim
with
just
that.
reposts Swansea stuff. I just repost Brexit and Doctor Who stuff, and you do nothing.
I post Legos on my Instagram sometimes. We should be more
active. We're a very
active.
diverse podcast.
We're just not very active on social media, which you need to change that. Well, you don't like TikToks anymore, which I'm glad.
That's not true. I adore TikTok.
Ugh, there's terrible content. Anyway.
But I had to delete TikTok purely because
TikTok is terrible.
I got so addicted to it. I had to put a time limit onto it because I was on it too much.
Your brain. Anyway, see you next week.
What do you mean it'll rot your brain?
On Toy Story month. Bye.
Why? No. Why does it rot your brain?
Goodbye.
Because
I'm not answering that because it's garbage content. Copyright.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah, so Rocky month is finally over.
Yay!
It started off so well. It's like New Year's resolutions. They start off well and they get progressively shit until you
quit the gym.
And quit the gym, and then you realise you sign up to a 12-month contract.
So you now have to keep paying even though you're not going there.
And it's almost like Rocky 5 where it's just a complete disappointment and you wish you never have gone in the first place.
Exactly. So, see you
Toy
next
Story!
week with Toy Story.
Yes!
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.